What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you. Okay, so this particular video, another reaction video. This one is going to be real interesting. As I was listening to some YouTube clips on today, I ran across this video courtesy of the Daily Wrap Up crew. So shout out to the brothers over there doing some decent work. Go follow them if you haven't done so already. But this video is going to focus on what the title of their video is. It's called "Why Women's Intuition is Praised, but Men's Insecurity is Shamed." And I thought this video, even though it clocks in at 10 minutes, I thought it was interesting. And once I saw it, I was like, yeah, I got to do a reaction video to this one. So I'm sure most of us fellas probably, heard that term women's intuition. We've heard it before, and usually when it comes to something like that, I think one of the things that's most closely associated with that term is cheating. We've heard it and we've seen it. It was my intuition told me you was cheating or something to that effect, or in a situation where a man just happened to leave his phone around and the woman, she felt the need to go in his phone because something in her gut was telling her to look at it. Next thing you know, she sees something that she didn't like, and then next thing you know, there's commotion, controversy, chaos, you name it. We've heard about it, we've seen it, and who knows, some of us have probably experienced it. Now, me personally, I haven't experienced that. I never gave any woman that I've dealt with in the past a reason to check my phone. My lady now, I'm not going to give her a reason to check my phone either, because I just don't want to be bothered with that, But that's usually where it starts. It usually starts at the cheating aspect, along with anything else. A woman will basically get this idea, at some point, something ain't right. It's her intuition. Y'all know how it goes. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and get started with this video. They're going to have some interesting thoughts, not just from the men's side, but the women's side as well. So we're going to take a look at this again. I'm going to give my thoughts in between. And again, shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew. Let's get to
this next topic, right? That's a sneaky link right there. Let me get to the second topic. Why is it often we often look at it as women's intuition, but when as a man, then we say it's insecurities. Like, why is that such a difference, do you think?
That's a good question.
That is.
That's a real good one. Why do you often think that we say as women it's intuition and as men it's insecurity? Damn, I don't know why we say it like that. I think we don't want to say we insecure. We feeling insecure, but a lot of times, sometimes we do feel a little insecure about something. It's human nature. Okay, we all got a little moment where we're like, damn. And then you got to pick ourselves back up. Why do we say that? I don't know. Maybe it's to make ourselves our egos.
Men are insecure too, though.
Yeah, they are. They are insecure too. I'm not.
Okay, now let me stop it right there. Now, I will say that, there are men out there who do have some insecurities. Okay, I'm not going to deny that. But the difference here between men and women is that when it comes to men and us having insecurities, we know how to handle that better. We know how to respond to that better and basically check ourselves and make the necessary adjustments and changes. Women, on the other hand, will make a big deal about their insecurities to a point where that will become a problem, not just an individual problem, but it'll be a collective problem when the man, comes into play, So I just wanted to make that clear first off. So yes, men, we do have our insecurities, but we know how to handle those better than women do, Let's just keep it real.
Like, go to sleep early.
It's an issue, yeah.
Why you tired? Why you tired?
I like how y'all did that. Y'all done deflected the whole shit.
We had to. You feel me?
I like it.
Yeah, they certainly did. They certainly deflected it, in real time. They certainly did. But then again, women do that. You got to catch it when you can. But women, they know how to deflect and they know how to take things out of context and run with it. And trust me, taking things out of context and running with it when it comes to a woman, yeah, I know that's like it. It's never a pretty thing. But yeah, they really deflected. They answered the question, but on another form, they didn't answer the question. If that makes sense.
No, let's not flip it on the men. Let's not even do that this time. Let's not.
That's distinction. That's the intuition right there. Just flip it on the men.
I think it's because women, like, we just, like I said, like, you know how like they always tell men like stay out of women's business or something like that, like don't speak on certain topics. For women, it's like women is sensitive for us, so it's like it's different. But men, it's like you being insecure. You know, growing up, you always had to have it tough, right? And you had to man up and stuff like that. So insecure, you being like, we could put that on you, but for us, it's intuition because I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like.
Okay, now let me say this. I know I paused it a couple of times. Let me say this, y'all. Okay, on the list of things that get on my nerves, look, I know I'm guilty of this. I try to stay away from it, but sometimes it's difficult. I know other content creators say it. You know, my lady says it sometimes, family members, people at work, but that word like, it just really gets on my nerves because within the last couple of years, for some reason, that one word has become part of the natural day-to-day lexicon. And in another video, day-to-day speak, but that's another story. But that one word, especially when every other word is like, it just really gets on my nerves. I mean, every word, like this, like that. I feel like, you know, like, tell me like, I mean, sheesh, man, it just really drives me crazy. I don't know what's worse, like or bro. You know, let me know what y'all think. Which word is worse in present day 2024 when people say like every 5 minutes or bro every 5 minutes? And we're gonna get the like thing a little bit more in this particular video. Let's keep it moving.
But
I don't know.
Real intuition is real. We have gut feelings.
We do.
And give us an example.
So if I say, I feel like you over here, you at somebody's house that you're not supposed to be at their house, and I'm right, then I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm still right.
So what? You wrong and you right.
Sometimes you might have a dream about it.
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah, I be having a lot of dreams.
You see that? Now, I would not put it past a woman to take a dream that they had and somehow try to intersperse that with reality and try to make it into something when there may not be anything there. I can see women doing that. Now, men, on the other hand, look, we can have a dream about, let's say, for example, a woman being taken by somebody else, but we're not going to wake up and then try to parlay that into something real or think that, okay, just because we had a dream about that, that means there's something there when it's not. You know, like I'll give a real brief example. When I was with the lady that I was in a relationship with prior to the one that I'm in now, I had a dream that Montel Jordan, y'all remember the single, This Is How We Do It. Y'all remember that guy? I had a dream that he was like literally trying to sink her away from me. And it seems like the more I pulled her to me, the more he kept singing and he kept trying to pull her to him. And when I woke up, I was like, that was an interesting dream. But I didn't go to her on some, you know, I had a dream about this. I mean, I told her about the dream and she just laughed at it or whatever. But I thought that dream was interesting, but I didn't turn it into something that wasn't there. And then you got them, they talking about, you know, this one right here, the dark skinned one on my left, probably your right. She, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm right, and if I'm right, I'm still right. You know, but you know, only a woman says something like that. But let a man say that, yeah, he'll get checked. And then, you know, a few moments ago, I believe the one in the middle, she said something about, you know, you going to bed early. What's up with that? You know, now I'll admit that that's random, but don't make anything out of that when there's nothing there. Now, if there's been a period after a while where a man doesn't go to bed at a certain time and, you know, he's been going to bed. Okay, let's say a man can go to bed at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. for a number of years straight, but then just out of nowhere, he decides to change his the time that he goes to bed. I mean, there's nothing to, you know, worry about in terms of that. I mean, would it be incredibly random? Yes, because you're not accustomed to seeing him go to bed that early, but still, I mean, it's nothing. Don't make something out of nothing, you know, just stop.
I be having dreams.
You're not about to do that.
I be having
Your father, Martin Luther King?
You know what else?
I had a dream.
Had a dream.
He balls, so that
Listen,
count.
I be feeling it in my gut. Like I just
Gut feelings are
know.
never wrong.
But
Yours never
let me ask you
wrong.
let me ask you a question, right? Before y'all get this gut feeling in y'all whatever, in your stomach, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Do y'all notice something first? Like
I noticed something
When
first.
somebody's moving funny or
Funny.
weird.
And you pick up on the patterns. Like, yeah. Like,
Sounds like y'all talking about common sense then, not woman intuition.
but think about it. Men are more logic than women.
That is true. You know, you're talking about common sense here. That's a good point. And then she said it best. Men are more logical. And, you know, as every single day goes by, I'm convinced of that. You know, women are more emotional and intuitive. Men are more logical and practical. You know, that's the thing. I think that's one key takeaway from this particular video. Men, we are logical and practical and strategic. Women are intuitive and emotional. That's the key thing here, y'all. Remember that I said
because we rely on our emotions a lot. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes we know things, but we're like, oh, whatever. Like, you feel me? Because like we like that person or whatever the case may be, but we're more emotional. We like, oh, but like that's how we are. But y'all like, no. Like y'all are more logical than us.
Yeah, so that would bring more cadence. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was about to say, if we're more logical, that means that our intuition would be more correct than y'all, because y'all basing it off emotion. Like,
right.
Turn the camera off.
She said,
I don't know.
She said,
maybe sometimes. Maybe.
The only thing I find interesting about women's intuition, like, why does women intuition only kick in when y'all think a man is cheating? Y'all never say, damn, my intuition is saying that I ain't treating him right, or like he ain't happy in a relationship. Like, it's always
great point.
That is a great point. You know, I'm gonna let him finish, but that is a good point. That intuition only kicks in when it comes to cheating. So if you can look at your man and tell that he's not having a good day or something else is going on, you don't step in then, probably because you're thinking it's not your business. But then again, if it's your man, it is your business. But that's a damn good point. That's you, and that's what I said at the beginning of the video. That's usually when their intuition kicks in when it comes to cheating, or there's something involving another woman or something like that. And in most cases, are they correct? Yes. You know, but let's keep it moving. But yeah, that's a damn
only when
good
y'all
point.
suspect a man of cheating. Like, that's the only time y'all intuition supposedly kick in. Like, and that's not even an intuition. That's just y'all overthinking about things.
Yeah.
Like, I think y'all be confusing intuition with overthinking. Like,
sometimes we may be overthinking.
No, my intuition never led me wrong.
That's
me either. Lately, it hasn't ever led me wrong.
when
you see the look on her face, just, you know, I don't want to call it entitlement, but just you know, some borderline arrogance. You know, your intuition is never incorrect.
When it came to you discovering something about a man, right? It never led you wrong, right? But what about his happiness? Did it lead you? Did you?
If you're not happy, talk to me about
exactly.
it.
Well, but what about your woman intuition? That's what I'm saying. Is it only for negativity or picking up? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, this is listen.
Once again, she said, "Cut
yeah,
the camera."
Because now we getting attacked.
But you have to flip it. Let's flip it on Think about how men are insecure. Like,
oh man, the number one tactic.
Let's talk about how men are intentional. That's the one. How y'all don't know y'allself, so y'all can't cater to nobody else.
And let's talk about how men don't really heal. Like, it's on to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, come on. Like, when you gonna sit down with yourself and your feelings? You can't.
Okay, now let me stop it right there. Now, she says, men, we don't heal. Okay, now, that depends on the man we're talking about. You know, some men may heal, some may not heal. Okay, all right, whatever the case may be, but we do heal. It just depends on the individual. It depends on the situation. And speaking for myself, I've been there. I know what it's like to heal. Now, let me explain. Now, in my first marriage, just to give a real world example here, in my first marriage, when me and my then wife was going through the separation, which led to a divorce, it took me pretty much a year to get over her and that situation. It really did. Now, in the midst of it, did I play the field? Yes. But at the same time, even in my mid-20s, I was not going to get emotionally involved with any woman while I was still legally married. Now, ex-wife, on the other hand, she clearly moved on. She didn't give a damn one way or the other, but that's a different story. But me, like I said, I played the field, I talked to people, I did my thing, unquote. But I said, I'm not going to get involved with a woman while I'm still legally married. I'm just not, even though things were slowly but surely ending with my ex-wife, what I look like having a girlfriend and I'm still legally somebody else's husband. No, I was not going to do that. And second of all, I was not going to subject my son to a revolving door of women. I just wasn't going to do that. And at this point, in 2010, he was, let me do my math, y'all. I believe he was about to turn 4 in 2010. So I was not going to have a revolving door of women around him. And I've often said then, like I do now, whoever I bring around him, that's going to be confirmation that this is the one. It's not going to be this person this time I pick you up and that person the next time I pick you up. So I say all that to say that, yes, men, we do heal. Now, is it different for some men than others? Yes, but for the most part, we do take that time. Like, in my last situation before my current relationship now, I had to take some time to heal. I went through a period of self-reflection where I studied myself and I went back over some decisions that I made and pretty much how I was going to apply them to my future. I even read a book on emotional intelligence. I was recommended therapy, ironically, by the person that I was in a relationship previously, and I didn't take offense to it. I was like, okay, and that therapy, which lasted for the better part of a year and some change, it helped me. Without it, would I have still arrived at the same conclusions that I eventually arrived at? More than likely. But, I say all this to say that men, we do heal, probably better than most women would ever know, but we do heal. Women, they heal too. Some different than others. No two people heal the same. Just remember that. No two people heal the same. But for the most part, men, we do heal. We usually try our best to not take any baggage or anything like that into the next situation.
Who's more likely to jump in relationships, men or women?
Women.
On to next.
Listen.
Let's talk about it.
It depends on the person. I don't think it's men or women though. I feel like it depends on the person.
Okay, now, even though I just said women, okay, I do think she has a good point. It depends on the person. One person could jump from one situation to the next, and the other person will give themselves time. So it does take, it does depend on the person. So that is a good point. I do agree with that, even though I just literally said women, but that is a good point.
I don't feel like it's men or women. I feel like it depends on the person.
What?
It
Jumping
does
into
depend on the
relationships?
person too.
Say jumping in relationships?
Yes.
Or just situationships
How
or
many
whatever.
relationships you been in your life?
Why he came for you like that?
Because I
No
see
answer.
I see it in her. Like, you know
She
what I
said
mean?
no
It's like
answer.
it got to be like 10 in them. Like,
No.
how much?
No answer.
Huh?
No answer.
No answer. Right. No. I've been in.
Her smile is nice. I give her that. She
How
got a
much you been
nice
in?
smile,
I
y'all.
think I've been in about like 5. Yeah.
5, Drew?
3.
3. You know what I mean? That's how like jumping. That's how like.
And I'm in my
jumping.
30s, so
What?
Well, this is the thing. When I say like on to the next, jumping from the
Talking
next
about sex.
person, I'm just talking about dealing with people, period. But it could be sex. That's a strong one. Like it definitely is prominent sex, but I feel like it is always to another situation or like something to like entertain or like get your mind off or whatever. Like I feel like it's never like with men.
Hashtag like, y'all. Hashtag
Predominantly,
like.
some may really take time to themselves, but I feel like with men, you guys don't really give yourselves time to heal or sit with your emotions a lot.
I disagree with that, and I just explained why.
I don't think
That's a fact.
I
Be
don't think we
vulnerable.
was
That's
taught that. I don't think we was taught that growing up. I do think it's changing now, though. Like,
Yeah.
that we are taking time to focus on our mental and get that right before
That's
going
right.
into other situations.
Because then you bump into people, and then you bump into the wrong one. Like maybe she was like, you probably start, feeling her, but then.
And let me say this too. Sorry about that pause. Let me say this too. Healing and not bringing any emotional baggage to your next situation, that is essential. That is critical. And the reason that I say that is because you don't want to try to get to know somebody new and you bring in baggage from a previous relationship. Then if you do that and it becomes a problem with the person that you're trying to invest your time in and get to know and possibly pursue something further with, they may want to step back and be like, okay, get yourself right and then come to me before we move any further, or something along the lines of, it seems like you haven't healed from your last, relationship. Do you think you can move further with me while you're still in this phase, if you will? And then if the person, the man or the woman, if they say that it's difficult, then the other person may feel the need to, I guess, take a step back or take a quote unquote break while you fix yourself, and that's not to say that the other person is going to exercise their options, now, depending on the person, they very well could. But it's critical and essential to not bring past trauma into something new. It's just not going to work. And depending on how bad it is, it may cause the other person to fall back permanently and move on and just not deal with that. Then you be in a situation where you missed out on somebody who could have been your, new love because your past trauma kept you from seeing it. That's how
that
it
you're
is.
not healed from whatever, happened before. So now you bleeding on her in a way. And it's kind of like, you get what I'm saying?
I also think that's actually women as well too, though.
Yeah, sometimes that happens with
when you jump in onto the next one to replace what the last one did to you without healing,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit.
And the person usually, if they're smart enough, like, I can read people like a book. So like
nowadays.
I can read people like a book. So when they come to me, I already know what's up. I'm like, give me like a week or two. I'm like, yeah, you're not healed. They're like,
basically, if you're not healed, don't
Hashtag like.
another relationship.
Absolutely.
Right.
Or don't jump into a situation where, or know who you're dealing with, what type of woman you're dealing with.
A relationship is different from just talking to somebody though, too, right? So how would a man jump in? Like, how often do a man try to jump in a relationship with you ladies? Or do you think women pursue the relationship part?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think women pursue it, but I feel like
Really good.
depends on what type of woman it is. Sometimes, I love y'all questions. Y'all look good.
We asking basic questions. Like,
Really? No, because it's different to hear it from a man.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's the women that are asking this question amongst ourselves, but to hear a guy,
Yeah,
it's different.
I think we do. We be in our feelings and like, like, damn, like having fairy tales and stuff.
Why you stringing me along? Or are we together? What is it? And you what are we?
I did.
I've heard that before.
I did.
No, asking what are we is
crazy.
Yeah.
Asking what are we crazy?
Yeah, because what we everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly y'all don't, because y'all always asking the question. Like, what I'm saying?
I thought we did.
We have sex. What are we? Like, come on, don't
crazy.
do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Nah.
We are nothing.
Don't act like y'all never didn't ask that question.
But that's why it's important to know who you're
dealing with and open communication.
I always say women should, if they're going to date with intentions, they should tell that to the man.
Like, I start asking real serious, important questions from the start. Like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And from your response is like, how I'm gonna move if I know I want to deal with you or not.
And I do want to go back to the dating with and being intentional when you're dating. We always tell men that they should be intentional, but we don't never tell women intentional too, because there's a lot of women who know they don't want to be in a relationship with that nigga, but they gonna take that date or they gonna take that outing just because they want that photo op or they want that meal. There are women out there that will just use a man for his resources, his time, like, you know what I mean? So women also don't take men as seriously, or these first dates as seriously as that y'all want men to, like, you know what I mean? So that's why men are saying, like, I would rather have that coffee date first, not do nothing too crazy, because if I start at level 5, I can't go down, because now it look like, oh, I'm giving less, you know what I mean? So if I'm setting a bar up here, I can't go any higher, like, you know what I'm saying? Now we got to go skydiving or some shit because I went to fucking Nobu on the first date, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I think men
will take you to the sugar spot. What is it called again?
Sugarous.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Taking a girl to get her shit waxed on the first date, like, surprise, like, you know what I'm saying? That would be crazy though.
Sugared.
It's sugar. Oh, my fault. Sugar. Like,
All right, so again, shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew. That was a nice little discussion, and the reason why I liked it a lot was because it didn't turn into chaos. It didn't turn into a shouting match or anything like it. Just didn't become combative or arrogant or overbearing or anything like that. So it was a decent discussion, and I was happy to talk about it. You know, I feel as though I made some good points. The ladies made some good points. Now the fellas, they really made a lot of good points. So it was a good discussion overall. So again, shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew, and shout out to those ladies. You know, they bought a respectable, you know, counterbalance, for the lack of a better word, to that discussion, you know, and it didn't degenerate into anything crazy. So again, good video there. So with all that being said, y'all, if you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves. And remember, the power of the mind is valuable and self-reflection is key.